So today I want to talk about something that so many of you deal with on a regular basis, and it can be overwhelming and bordering annoying, and I'm of course referring to the shameless arrogance of some people in your life. Now, arrogance is a trait that is often presented by those who are narcissistic and other kinds of difficult people. That's a trait that they possess, and one often wonders, why are people so nasty, so inconsiderate and rude and unkind and narcissistic? Why are they so arrogant? Now, an arrogant person can cause a lot of problems in your life. They typically don't value other people in the same way that they value themselves, and their actions most definitely reflect that. They are insecure, and that is more often than not where their arrogance is rooted. It's the only thing that they've got. You know, deep down, they actually wish that they were you, kind and confident. I'm sure just listening to what I'm saying just right now, there's a few people that come to mind in your life. Now, today, I'm going to put the spotlight on them. You know, they're not going to like it, but that's their problem. They say that the world suffers a lot, not because of the actions and violence of bad people, but because of the silence and inactions of good people. And today, I'm definitely not going to be silent about them. I will not hold my peace. I think it was Isaiah in the Bible, the great prophet, who said that, the first verse of the 62nd chapter, he said, "For Zion's sake I shall not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamb that burneth." So in today's episode, I'm going to share with you the 5 signs of an arrogant person. And also, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to share also and give you 5 easy ways to deal with them. Hi everybody, this is Life with Leonard, and welcome to another episode. Now on this channel, I strive to motivate and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. And today's episode is definitely no different. In fact, I am so excited about today's episode, and I would encourage you to watch the full video. And if you like what you see and what you experience, can I kindly ask you, if you haven't, to please subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to share it, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. I am particularly looking forward to your comments today in this episode, and as you know, I read through all the comments and I do my utmost best to respond to them. And in case you haven't subscribed, as I mentioned, please remember to subscribe. It is absolutely free, it doesn't cost you a cent, and it is dead easy. You can just click that subscriber button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and please remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you will be notified and you won't miss out whenever I upload new videos. So the first sign of an arrogant person is that they always want to be in the spotlight. The absolute telltale sign that someone is arrogant is when they just love being in the spotlight. No matter what they do or say, they have this need, this desire to be the center of the attention. Their world seems to rotate around them and only them. You know, they don't notice how their need for attention is completely overbearing, as if their usual self isn't hard enough to deal with. Now, adding in their achievements into the mix only inflates their ego even further. You know, sometimes they even try to downplay others' successes just because they want to be they want to put the spotlight on them. It's never about how other people feel, think, or choose to act. It's always how things impact or inconvenience or benefit them. They are absolutely vanity personified. Number 2 is they never admit when they are wrong. Now, an arrogant person never admits when they are wrong. They simply must be right at all costs. You know what I'm talking about. They live in this fantasy world where they are the king of their own castle and everyone else's castles as well. Their arrogance is basically a self-preservation method for fragile self-esteem and self-worth. They build this fictional world around themselves, so they don't need to deal with the reality. You know, that's why in arguments they'll find a way to to make it seem like they were agreeing with you in the first place, and that you are the one who misunderstood them. You know what I'm talking about. They'll act as if nothing happened, and they won't even apologize. I must just contain myself here because I honestly get so frustrated even when I just talk about them. You will never really hear them say sorry. Never. Sometimes they'll even debate with you to the point where you just end up apologizing to them just to let them go. It's as if you owe them an apology for wasting your time. Arrogant people, they are just like that. They'll constantly make it seem like they're not the ones to blame. And when you call them out, they usually react with anger or offense or disbelief. And number 3 is they think that their preference is superior. Now, if you have different preferences from them, they'll immediately see you as inferior. Whether it be their interest in mundane stuff like music or movies or cars or even the choice of kitchen cupboards. I mean, it's petty, but that's just who they are. They tend to put themselves on the pedestal all the time. They are just petty, and if there's any way the arrogant person can make themselves look good, trust me, they'll take it. They will usually step on anyone else that they can to make themselves look good. They may even use a favorable opportunity or circumstance to tear down other people involved. Simple things. I mean, if you don't like their favorite food, they'll say that you are uncultured. They will say that you have terrible taste. Maybe they'll even go as far as to insult your favorite cuisine and your go-to restaurant just to make themselves look better. I mean, even with the tiniest little things, they'll make sure to fight you for it. Even that little bit of attention. They expect you to follow what they like and nothing else. Overall, they are just dismissive of your opinion if it's not aligned with theirs. Even if everyone else agrees with you, it doesn't matter to them. They're still right. And number 4 is they treat people who aren't like them or they perceive to be beneath them poorly. Now, arrogant people will go through any means to come out on top. They will criticize everyone they know to the point where it can no longer be called constructive criticism. Arrogant people, they nitpick other people's mistakes without considering that person's feelings. When you cross someone who is arrogant, they won't let you forget it. Even if you have apologized 100 times after that, they'll still remind you of your past mistakes. They've made it their life's mission to put others down just that they would look better. Their confidence comes from other people's failures. They thrive on it. Number 5 is they lie all the time. Now, arrogant people want you to believe that their lifestyle is better than yours. They will lie about their lives to make it seem like theirs is much more interesting. And you know what I'm talking about, or who I'm talking about. That's why they have a few close friends. Arrogant people, just look around you. And they have a hard time forming close and sincere relationships. And although they want to appear well-liked and have a broad group of friends, but that's not true. That's just the persona that they put up. The arrogant person typically holds people at arm's length because if they let anyone get too close, the outsider will be able to see their fakeness. They are incredibly toxic and draining, and the sooner you can cut yourself loose, trust me, the better. So how do you deal with arrogant people? I think the first one for me is, no matter how worked up you get, and I mean you can pick up, I get worked up, I get carried away, because they just know which buttons to press, trust me, I mean to get the blood pressure up, if you catch my drift. My first piece of advice is to kill them with kindness. Now, killing someone with kindness basically means to make them feel uncomfortable by you being super kind or super nice to them, rather being mean or insulting them. There's a fine line though, and what I would suggest to you, actually I've recorded an episode just recently, I think it was my previous upload on this channel, the 5 bad things that happen when you are too nice. And my advice to you is go watch that episode in conjunction with this one, and make sure that, there's a lot of things that I share there that will make a lot of sense to you. I'll leave a link to that episode in the description below. or you can just click on the banner on top. It'll take you to that episode. I think the takeaway point for me here is don't allow them to use you as a doormat. I mean, you can avoid situations like them forcing their opinion on you by just accepting who you are talking to. If you had a negative experience dealing with a person who was arrogant, maybe it's best to avoid talking about those explosive topics with them, the things that you know will trigger them. Or if they are being obnoxious with their attitude, excuse yourself. It's as simple as that. What you need to understand is that an arrogant person have such strong personalities. I mean, that it can be overwhelming for most people around them. Don't you fall into that trap. But once you put yourself in their shoes, you sometimes understand why they actually act this way. So when you meet an arrogant person, don't judge them too quickly. You know, they are insecure deep down. And that is more often than not where the arrogance is rooted. And the second way for you to deal with an arrogant person is simply don't give in. You know, if an arrogant person keeps talking over you, what you can do in this situation is to keep on talking. You know, when they try to butt in, finish your sentence, stand firm. And if they try to cut you off anyways, make a stand and speak your mind. Tell them, I'm not done speaking. Do not interrupt me. And let them know how you want them to listen to you first, and that they will get their turn. Sometimes you unfortunately have to be explicit about how they are cutting you off. And next is, don't allow them to belittle or badmouth others. Now, arrogant people do not like sharing the spotlight with anyone else. As I alluded to earlier, the few friends that they do have, they will usually talk badly about them behind their backs and spread rumors. And just another piece of advice for you to follow as well. When you see that an arrogant person is belittling someone else, stand up for them. Perhaps it happened to you before. Tell them that they're being inconsiderate of that person's feelings, or that they're being too harsh with their words. Or when the arrogant person keeps talking over someone else, ask them to pause while you're listening to someone else's input. Let them know, it's important, let them know that they will have their turn. And the fourth one on my list is on how to deal with arrogant people is be patient. Now, dealing with an arrogant person, it requires a lot of patience. Sometimes you have to let them have their way, and just bear with me, because even if they're open to changing their habits, it will take some time. Choose your battles. You know, often one needs to lose, the old saying, lose the battle in order to win the war. You have to be the bigger person. You know, patience here is absolute key. And this brings me to the last way that you can deal with an arrogant person. And that is, sometimes you simply have to fight fire with fire. Now, when kindness doesn't seem to be working, outdo them. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Don't let them get into your head. You are a remarkable person, and don't let them make you think otherwise. You know, arrogant people often feed off the other people's insecurities. Sometimes that's the only way they'll take you seriously is when you fight fire with fire. Most arrogant people are impressed when someone is more superior to them. Sure, they get a little jealous, but they will also give their respect. And after that, they'll see you as someone equal to them. And they will act less rude and snarky around you because they truly want to hear your thoughts. And if ever they get too insecure and leave you alone, well, hey, that's still a win for you. You see, arrogant people, they look tough to deal with at first, but once you understand their patterns, it'll be easy to deal with them. Well, that was a mouthful, everybody. I really enjoyed sharing all this with you all. As you can pick up, I mean, I deal a lot with arrogant people, and that's why I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to share this with you. And if any of the points that I've shared with you today resonated with you, please feel free to let us know in the comments section below. If there's anything else that you think I've missed out that you would like to add, you are more than welcome to do so. Thank you so much once again, everybody, for joining me. And just before I go, please remember to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, and to share it, and leave me a comment once again in the comment section below. And yes, subscribing is free and it is easy. Just click that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And as I mentioned, it's good to click the all notifications, good to like the video, it's good to comment, it's good to share it. Those things are good for the YouTube algorithms, and that way we will grow and we will be able to reach more people who you and I know can benefit from the contents of these videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.